Okay, guys, welcome back. We are looking at the political history now after looking at the videos just now. What do you think about the videos? Those actually, if you read along the line of politics, you should be able to see it very clearly and the role of politician and politics. And within that, you will see the struggle between the politicians, politics, and the law. Yeah, because what you are seeing is the outcome of those laws and political agendas or ideas that politicians have. So, continuing our discussion, we will be looking at the political history. If you look at the political history, one of the political history studies the organization and operation of power, yeah, which exists in large society. I put the picture here to reflect the power struggle that you have between the politician and the law. Obviously, this does not reflect politician and the law, but it reflects more towards the relationship of people within that society itself. So you want to be able to control people who are in your domain and get their respects. So by focusing on the elites in power, on their impact on the society, on popular response, and on the relationship with the elites in the other societies, social history, which focuses predominantly on the action and lifestyles of ordinary people or people's history, which is historical work from perspective of common people. If you go back down to history, you will start to discover that actually it is a story of who is in power, right? And how they regulate, how they control the society that is within their domain. And then from that, we study the history, what happened, things of the society, how everything works, yeah, in terms of economy, in terms of social, in terms of cultural, you know, in terms of the education, the what they call it. The administration of law. Okay, for example, we have common law. Our common law is reflective of the method that was used by the British to control Malaysian economy, by Malaysian uh, wealth, by virtue of controlling the society by virtue of the law. Yeah, and you've learned that very much in terms of the MLS. Yeah, the paper that describe how English law was introduced to Malaysia by virtue of the action. They realize that we are not powerful, and therefore they have the strategy of controlling us. And then the amount or the idea spread towards all other European countries, and they fight one against another to have dominance over our area, yeah, Southeast Asia. And you see, like, at one time, Philippines, yeah, used to be a Muslim country, but they colonized it to the extent they forced, yeah, the people of Philippines to convert into Christianity. And by that move, we have the Philippines nowadays is majority of the population is Christians. This is just to show how they use politics in order for the politics to be able to control the or dominate the society that they control. And we cannot dominate and control the society without the use or the help of law. Yeah, definite. It must be something that you must be able to justify, to legitimize your idea, and it has to be translated into law prior for its application toward the society, and more or less you can justify your action in the long run. Um, Here I put an as example as politics of slavery. Yeah, if you look at the politics of slavery that involve people of African nations, yeah, when they were captured and transferred to the Americans, yeah, because this is if you look at the history of that, you're talking about several millions of them were transferred, and then 50% of them, the chances of them dying is so high. I will share you with you a video on that so you can get used to what happened, because we know from the history it is a control of the people in power in order for them to enslave other people, right? So but how do they legitimize the act of slavery, which is outright cruelty, right? So how can they dominate the mind of the society in order for them to say and justify that it is legal for them to do so? The video I might be sharing with you is it might be a bit lengthy, but from there you should be able to understand, yeah, how politics being applied in order for uh, the act to be justified, whereas as I mentioned, the act itself is outrightly wrong. Okay, moving on, we look at the political history is also the narrative and survey of political events, ideas, movement, organs of government, voters, parties, and leaders. So, uh, in all these activities that is stated here, political events, if you look at Malaysia, the video you have seen just now, you will see the role of politics, yeah, in terms of what is happening to Malaysia. And you have the second video saying that people on the ground, Malaysians, as example, the how they feel over the political event that is taking place, and how it affects their life, their way of living, yeah, and the mindset. You can see the ideas of the society in Thailand being dominated by the junta, meaning the army. So in that situation, for Thailand alone, they have 12 coups, yeah, coup d'etat. So they have 12 times, yeah, in the distance of 20 years. And on top of that, they have changed their constitution a number of times, 20 times, their constitution was changed from one to another. Then you see in Indonesia the creation of omnibus law. It is, and how it impacts the society and how they react to such a move by a politician in order for them to do something, either to be in place or to change the society to a better position. So whether it is justified or whether it is valid or not, whether it is workable or not, that is something that is subjective, right? So if you ask people, you can get 50% of the society agreeing or disagreeing. Yeah, and then you see movement of the society. If you look all over the world, whenever politician play a role where they transgress the idea that the society is having, there would definitely be backlash. And we are looking at backlashes all over the world when it comes to people who are in power, i.e., people who have law in their hands, politicians who have laws in their hands, and how the society react to the action that they have been doing towards the society. And then we have organs of government, how we are looking at the agency of the government, yeah, how government works in terms of how it functions. It all depends on politician move. Yeah, maybe to the extent that they were saying this coming table of parliament with respect to finance. Yeah, they want to stop the current government to pass a bill for paying a salary to government officers, and maybe in a way that they want to disrupt their intention is very clear that they just want power, but the way that they do it, it will have the impact on the whole society, whereby roughly about 2 million government servants are going to be their income is to be jeopardized. Yeah, so jeopardizing income of someone is one thing, but we're talking about 2 million, and the 2 million is going to be impacting several other millions. Yeah, without their money, economy cannot move, cannot be launched properly. Yeah, it cannot be processed. And then we look at voters, parties, and leaders. So squabbles between them which will result in bickering between one person towards another, and lobbying of people, money politics, and so on. This is something that is, if you look at history, this is something that is normal. Yeah, it is normal from, I think, 1000 years ago. The same thing is applied again and again. So with this, we can relate to the extent that once you know the history of politics, hopefully you will see the future. Okay, because it is interrelated with other fields like history, especially diplomatic history. Yeah, if you look at the history of the world in terms of interrelationship between countries and countries. Yeah, you will see how things being done in terms of uh, what do you call it, uh, people that they send to another country to be their representative, and how kings get married to a certain princess of another country, things like that. If you even if you look at the Rasulullah, our prophet, you will see that his marriages that he entered to is it is more political in nature. Yeah, and then if you look at the constitutional history of countries, you will see the uh, what do you call it, the move, yeah, in terms of the pure political history. Especially if you look at America, is a good example, yeah, in relation to slavery that I mentioned in the previous slide, where they go to war. Yeah, they go to war, civil war, meaning they fight each other, north and south. South believe in the slavery, while the north do not believe in the slavery. So that is the event that took place. Eventually it leads to the constitutional amendment to the America, yeah, to the United States, and it stays until now. And then if you look at public history, what the society of the history of our society, how we come about, it it has its roots to political ideology, yeah, political move of politician towards how they control the society. So basically, what I'm trying to say is very clear. It's very simple. Whereby if you look at political history, anything, any news, anything that you come across, then you will start to realize the scenario that is behind it is the role between or the fight between politician and the law that they use in order for them to either to be in power or to put their agenda across. Yeah. All right, we take a break, and then I will continue with another video because I don't want it to be a big size that it cannot be passed through WhatsApp. Okay, hold on, yeah.